Hey guys, today I'm going to share with you my banana bread recipe, and for this recipe we need 5 to 6 small bananas. And first of all, we have to nicely smash all these bananas. So since these are overly ripened, using a fork is quite easy. And if you also have these overly ripened bananas and if you don't feel like eating it, I'm pretty sure after watching this video you will give a thought of making banana bread so that you won't waste your bananas. And if you don't have these small bananas, it's perfectly fine to use those long big bananas. And if you're using those long big bananas, just 2 to 3 bananas are more than enough. Since I'm using these small ones, I have to use 5 to 6 bananas to make this banana bread. So now we are almost done smashing our bananas. I'm just smashing my last banana, and the smashing part is almost over. So after smashing all our bananas, it's time for us to add sugar. And for today's recipe, I am going to use 1 cup of brown sugar. If you don't have brown sugar, it's perfectly fine for you to use white sugar. So since I'm using brown sugar, I have to use 1 cup of brown sugar, and if you're using white sugar, I recommend you to use 1 1/4 cups of white sugar, because most of you might know that brown sugar is more sweeter than white sugar. So if you're using white sugar, you can use more. And also, when you're adding sugar, just keep in mind how sweet your bananas are. My bananas are quite sweet, so I'm just going to add only 1 cup. And after this, I'm going to add 1 cup of butter. This butter, I have kept it out of the refrigerator for about 20 to 30 minutes. But still, it was a little bit hard, so I had to smash it with my fork. So after that, we are going to move to our hand beater. So now what we are going to do is give it a nice good whisk with our hand beater so that everything will be mixed and combined so that we have that smooth batter. After beating everything together for a few minutes, it's time for us to add our eggs. So here we have 5 eggs today, and I'm going to crack our eggs separately into another bowl. So after cracking all 5 eggs into another bowl, I'm gonna use a fork and give it a nice quick beat. I'm beating the eggs separately is because it's easy for me to later add this to the batter. But if you don't want to do this step, it's perfectly fine, and you can directly add the eggs to the batter. So now here I'm gonna add egg to the batter little by little. I'm not going to add the whole thing at once. So I'm going to add the second portion of eggs. Like I said, I'm not adding all the eggs at once. I have divided the eggs into 3 portions with my eye measurements. Not really, I haven't measured it as such, but you know, I'm not going to add all the eggs at once and give it a nice beat. Keep doing this process until all the egg and the other ingredients are mixed well. So after beating everything nicely for a few minutes, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of almond essence. This is my secret ingredient. Almond essence gives this nice smell and taste to the cake. And I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla essence as well. And if you don't have almond essence, it's perfectly fine, but it's nice to add that because it gives this really nice taste and smell after you bake this. And even now, while beating this, I'm already getting that nice rich smell. So after mixing everything well together, it's time for us to add our dry ingredients. And here we have 2 cups of all-purpose flour, and I'm going to add it little by little into our batter. And to mix this, I'm going to use my hand beater, which I've been using. But if you want, you can use a spatula to mix this as well. So what we are doing here is that we are gently mixing everything well so that our flour is nicely mixed with the batter and without having globs and blobs of flour. So you can see something chunky and stuff here. That's our banana pieces, but that's all right. So I'm adding our next portion of flour. Like I said, I have divided this also into portions, and I have divided into 3 portions with my eye measurements. Nicely mix everything while taking the corners as well. I mean, why waste your flour? So just give it a nice gentle mix. Now it's time for us to add our last portion of flour and repeat the process. Just give it a nice gentle mix and combine everything together. So yes, as you can see, our batter is almost ready. And something seems to be missing. Yes, it's our baking powder. So we have to add 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and I'm gonna directly sift it to our batter. So now it's time for us to nicely mix our baking powder with the batter, and while you are doing this, you can preheat your oven up to 180 degrees Celsius for 25 minutes. After you're done with the mixing process, leave aside the batter, and now it's time for us to get our loaf tray ready. So here I have my loaf tray, and I'm gonna brush some melted butter on my loaf tray, and if you have cooking spray, you can surely spray it so it's easy, but I'm just gonna brush some melted butter on our loaf tray. And after you're done with that, pour the batter into your loaf tray, and from today's recipe you can make 2 loaves of banana bread. So I'm gonna just add our first portion and just shake it so that our batter will be spread evenly. So it's all ready to go into the oven. So I kept it in the oven for 20 minutes. It might differ from your oven, so just keep an eye on it after 20 minutes. And this is how it looks after 20 minutes. Thank you for watching.